Hello you guys, I'm in the woods and I want to show you this amazing castle. What is here? I'm doing some energy update because we are going through some kind of a really interesting stuff. So I decided to go to the woods to actually record this because I can't work from home. I have interferences. Well, anyway, this is where we're gonna do the energy update today. It's the spooky house. It's a Glen Art Glen Art castle, and there is this beautiful tree. As you cannot see it, but it's full of bluebells, which is absolutely amazing. So let me get there. I'm also grey. I'm super grey today. I did some shifts. There is some interesting astrology event now, and it fits exactly what we are going through. What is playing out at the moment? Be careful because there's a lot of distractions, ginormous distractions, to distract you off your path, to lure you back into the 3D. I can see this. People are pulling the plugs from, let's say, creative jobs because AI is infiltrating that field. So a lot of graphic designers are going backwards. There's a fear around this. The theme God or money is constantly playing out, and there is a lot of planets are gonna be moving in a direction that it is gonna be all about Dharma, which is fascinating because that's what I am exactly going through. I'm constantly fiddling with the web and thinking about how to monetize it. Google AdSense, using an Amazon affiliate link, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? What the heck I'm doing? Because it's a distraction as well. Because it doesn't make sense, having a spiritual web powered by all the big monsters, that are actually a part of the enslaving system. But I would say a lot of these big companies might play even a double roles, in both sides. Which, let's say, for example, Amazon has as well handmade platform, and now that is gonna be really interesting what is gonna be playing out with Etsy, because Etsy makes a lot of changes to the platform. So I'm staying a little bit off because I am in that platform for such a long time. So I know a lot of the platforms are a lot of changing. I've been reminded about my Kundalini awakening because we are repeating actually 2017. So planetary, there is something with the Mars, so there is gonna be a lot of that type of energy. So a lot of swords, fire, lashing out, anger, all this type of energy is gonna play out because it's all about Dharma, and Dharma is about the truth as well. So a lot of us are gonna be challenged as well on, are you gonna shut up, or are you gonna just spit it out, or are we gonna constantly not talking about the toxicity, or not talking about what's wrong with all the systems and what's wrong with in our human lives, what doesn't really work and serve us. Are we gonna be truthfully really speaking about it, or are we just gonna disengage and not doing it? Another thing what I am noticing is the focus is very difficult to keep your focus in one steady direction. I never really talk about Kundalini awakening because you know what? It's funny enough, I keep forgetting on that bit all the time. And that's here I start seeing, actually today I got aware of that, those distractions. What I am playing in, just because I'm being constantly taken off my path for a reason. The Kundalini awakening is it's something. Ooh, I didn't even know where to start with this one. So and I know I should talk about it actually, because there are people who are having these experiences, but it's still a minority of us. It's a very small part of the humans who are having those experiences. Um, so I've been constantly asking for some like clarification on my path. But obviously, when you get the guidance and you don't follow it, you will keep getting the same guidance all the time. You're not gonna get any other guidance until you follow the first one. That's how it's usually working with your soul. And if you not follow that guidance, even though like your ego kick and say no, come on, like you're not here, I'm here, I'm having the human experience and you are non-physical, so it doesn't really help me. Pay the bills and things like the practical side of being human and being on the earth plane, it doesn't really help you, like to I mean, it's a limiting belief, right? So the distractions are huge. I think a lot of us are tired. We had a lot of Schumann Resonance, a lot of blasts. I had vertigo today and I'm keep having it here and there. We are purging still. We are purging a lot of insecurities and financial abuse, and we are healing. What I noticed that I am definitely healing that part is I'm revisiting that part. It's the career, wound, fulfillment, work, and fulfillment. I have somewhere in the notes. Let me check. So we are gonna be fighting like sort of for the righteousness, which is interesting because I heard one Steele talking about that Germany has one of the biggest problem or the biggest the shadow. It's the righteousness, the German stuff. So, but it's planetary playing out at the moment, and I think Jupiter is going to Taurus, and that's Jupiter is the creative, the boss guy. So it's gonna be really interesting, like how is it gonna be now playing out, because we are being all asked. The entire humanity is gonna be asked to go more to the Dharma, purpose and truth and authenticity. And we will be changing on the field of the work and fulfillment for sure, because that's what I am like as well. That's suddenly pop in my reality in such a way that I was quite surprised that I didn't see it before actually. Still check on the shame and all the aspects that the shame is, how the shame is playing out. Tim Fletcher has a video about it. It's the usual guidance, that you work on yourself a little, because we have a rapid manifestations are happening right now. So whatever you are like invested in, be it a good, bad, or ugly, it's gonna be playing out in your reality. So you're gonna have both, and now it's going so fast. During the day, you're gonna have extremes of like a magic and extremes of let's say victimhood. Like you be chipping out through the leftovers of victimhood and narcissism and shame and financial abuse, or all of the heavy stuff is this year. It's just like head first. I don't even believe that we are already in May. So rapid manifestations, rapid. Like I can think about something and within like a couple of minutes, I'm seeing popping up. And what I am noticing, the awareness I've got, is that first of all, I'm more visionary, but that's because I'm dealing still with the Jehovah's seals and a lot of the scrambled system, but the Kundalini is doing it. So I always forget that I got a guru in here doing the shit, and I have to just surrender and like trust the process, and then and honor it, honor the process, and I have to surrender to it, which is like very difficult. You have to surrender control, and you have to be okay with whatever heavy shit is playing out, because I am purging it from the body. Because like Kundalini awakening is a change on the cellular level as well, and psychological, emotional, like you become multidimensional, like, and it's a ginormous, a physical as well change. To being able to hold this type of consciousness, or like a higher consciousness, the vessel has to undergo certain changes. It's not like a one-time download. So rapid manifestation is happening. Preview in the dream state. That's what I actually realized, that I didn't have just a 4 out of the body experiences. I had way more out of the body experiences that I actually realized. And because most of my visions, there are the types of visions and dreams I have. There is a one type which I never understood what I'm doing there, what it is, because I'm always the shadow, and there is always a door, and I'm watching something. That's out of the body state, actually. When you leave your body and you can get outside of your apartment. The moment, usually there are a little bit like a distortions, not distortions, but like warping, or like the field is not really solid, but it's very real. And I'm always a sort of like the shadow body. I always thought I'm like accessing just some like informations, for example. But yeah, I am accessing information, but like I'm out of the body, and I open the door, and like you opening the door into multidimensional spaces, or accessing memories, or I actually realized that I was in a hall of Amenti, and I was in like Akashic records, or like in those like places where people a lot speak about it. I never really understood what are all those dreams about. But what is happening right now, that I'm seeing it manifested. All those visions I had, I'm seeing manifested now all the time. I as well am making more sense of 2017 and what happened in that year, because I had a Kundalini awakening in that time. I was on absolute emotional breakdown. I lost everyone, everything, like it's just. And then I pick up some practices, started to meditate, and then I had a Kundalini awakening. Bang! It was very fast for me, in a couple of like months. So those, I know that I heard Marina Jacobi was talking about this, and Marina Jacobi was actually talking about a lot of the visions I had a lot of the time ago. So I'm actually hearing people talking about what I saw before. So I'm tapping into timelines, obviously. Mars lashing out, fire, fight. Watch out your thoughts. Intrusive thoughts, absolutely crazy. Pay attention how it happened. If there is no element involved into it, it's just the room, you're in it, and suddenly you start like, your mind start like running some sort of shit, then there is interference. That's not yours. You're picking it up from the collective as well. So, and the thought forms are in your energy field. So what you can do is like the yogis has fists of fire, and then you do this like with both fists. I cannot hold this. I'm holding the phone, but and you just like clearing out practically the arc line. They call it the clearing of the arc line, and it's for actually anger, the releasing the anger, or like get rid of the anger. It's a phenomenal practice. You just do breath work, and it's just like, it's a good one when you are angry. When you are really angry, this one is cool. But what you do, is that you actually really clean up the thought forms, and that's what you're after. So pay attention to the thought forms these days, because intrusive thoughts are gonna be there. You'll be challenged on your work and how much you are like on the honesty, on integrity, on how much you're charging for what, how much you're giving for free. If you are doing it for the money, or if you are doing it like being from like a victim desperate mode, we're gonna be challenged on this type of stuff. Is this year is juicy. Yeah, red pills. Watch out your thoughts, and as well be careful what you think about others. What you think about others. You know, let's say those statements like my daughter is like ta ta ta, and like this or like that, fill it in blank. So, or if you say my man is narcissist, right? So that's you're gonna be experiencing. Be very careful, because the manifestations are really fast. Because the timelines are splitting, the time is speeding up, because time is practically becoming sort of non-existent when the timelines are splitting. The reality is unreal. I was like, I'm in a realm, and I was like, wait a minute, it's like I really feel like this is just a simulation. It never happened to me before. I mean, I know the simulation theory, and I know, like, how the structure works. The structure is alive, but I don't feel it there. It's like it lost its 1001 flavor. It lost its zest. So I'm like, okay, I'm actually experiencing the old earth really crumbling, like under the densities at the moment. Different awareness, yeah. The reality lost its flavor completely. That's a new thing. And I know that the entity who left the realm, who, like the Mother Earth, we call her Mother Earth, that entity left this realm to support other realms, and we have to meet her there. We have to meet her there. So everyone at the moment is in its own individual hologram or virtual reality or whatever, your bubble, and you are working through some heavy pattern, and you have to find it. 1111. Have a look on the latest video I posted about like 4 levels of the consciousness, because that's a really good way how to understand where you at, that you understand where you more or less are, which level you are being asked to go to, because I have to go to the boss level. And that's the most difficult one, and so I have to drop a lot of things still. Hydrate. Food for me completely lost its, like I have to really force myself to like create something, or like in general create something. Very difficult at the moment for some reason. Food doesn't really interest me anymore. Not that I have actually physically, I don't really am the type of a person that can actually be without the food, but I know you can live on a prana. Okay, you have to be aware of your cycles and the patterns you are playing in. So astrology is great. I launched some new services. The webpage is running at the moment. I am fixing it up. I'm getting a little bit rid of my ego on it, and a little bit taking things out and doing things like a little bit differently. But I will still have to go to take the webpage to WordPress. It's still on the Squarespace. So I'm doing some astrology reading. I'm checking the Rahu Ketu axis. So you know more or less what at the moment it's a big deal, at least for me, because I have a planet standing on that axis actually. So it's good to know there is a lot of gems in it. There's your path, and there are your gifts, your natural gifts, and how you are wired. So there you understand which practices can work for you, because you will need to have some solid practices this year. I know I'm saying it all the time, but I just trying to save your butt. you know if I could write myself a letter, that would be the first thing to do. Start earlier, not not having it in 2017 and have such a right. But honestly, even it was so crazy because I was parenting fully on it. Nina was 2 when I had a Kundalini awakening. Now she's 9. Number 7 is constantly following me like around. It happened in number 7, 25. 2 plus 5 is 7. It's a 7 years from the Kundalini awakening. 2017, I know that even though it was crazy, it was the only way I could actually do the hardest part the first years, because I was stay-at-home mom. So the only thing I was doing was parenting and resting anyway. So it's kind of like actually helped to create sort of like a space where that can be even possible transformation like that. But I am going to a different level, and I need to change. So at the moment I can feel that this realm, I have to leave this. Like I have to leave completely this town. Maybe I have to leave completely Ireland. I don't even know. There is this weird energy of really trying to find something tangible. 0 point. Oh yeah, what once gave you a pleasure lost its flavor. Doesn't work anymore. Yeah, that's all for today, and I hope it helps you guys somehow. Like, and I'm just going to show up a little bit and cheer you up on the spiritual journey, because the consciousness is going to the next level, and we've got no option just to go with it. Okay, I see you next time. Bye. Hydrate. Ground in nature. The practice from Sattva Connect, the Kriya I was talking about last time, is brilliant for now. It grounds you. It stabilizes the system really nicely. It stabilizes the nervous system. So I would recommend that for this time of the year for sure. And if you need to move, then you can do afterwards 3 rounds of sun salutation and you sort out. Because that's a holistic, a full set. Okay. Work the vessel. You will need it. Okay, see you next time. Bye.